All right, shalom, shalom. Peace, Israel. It's Brother Zaquan from Prophets in Babylon, camped out here in Tampa, Florida. I to give out glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha HaKodash. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who do indeed teach and real well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. All right, today I want to touch up on Daniel chapter 3. All right, going into, ultimately the elect, they're not going to bow down to these false gods, and the elect are going to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, and they will prevail because of that. And in their time of trouble, the time of the affliction, the Lord will hear them, man. All right, the Lord will hear us. Yahweh is how we be those men. Hey, we're going to get into it. And I have the KJV version and the NIV version. All right, the new translation. I want to read it in that. All right, to get a better, clear understanding, for the brothers and sisters listening in. And I'll get into it. The book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 1 says, King Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold, 60 cubits high and 6 cubits wide, and set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. He then summoned the satraps, prefects, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the other provincial officials to come to the dedication of the image he has set up. Okay? It says, so the satraps, prefects, governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all other provincial officials assembled for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up, and they stood before it. All right, so everyone, was standing before what King Nebuchadnezzar had set up, the statue. It says, then the herald loudly proclaimed, nations and peoples of every language, this is what you are commanded to do. All right, and they're going to command the people, what King Nebuchadnezzar wanted. Okay, and it's about to get into it because he wanted the people to worship what he wanted to worship, man. So as soon as you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the image of gold that Nebuchadnezzar has set up. All right, now when you go back, he said, this is what you are commanded to do. All right, so it was a commandment. Nebuchadnezzar had a commandment that, when you hear these sounds of these instruments, you had to fall down and worship the statue, the graven image, man. Okay, an idol. It says, whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace. Okay, so that was the threat, that people were facing. Okay. It says, therefore, as soon as they had heard the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, and all kinds of music, all the nations and peoples of every language fell down and worshipped the image of gold that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. All right, it says, so all kinds of music, all the nations and people of every language fell down. All right, so it was ordered that everyone do this, man. King Nebuchadnezzar wanted everyone to follow his orders. Okay. It says at this time, some astrologers came forward and denounced the Jews. Okay, and then KJV says, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. It says, they said to King Nebuchadnezzar, may the king live forever. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. It says, your majesty has issued a decree that everyone who hears of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music must fall down and worship the image of gold. Okay, so it's the image of gold, the statue of gold. It says, and that whoever does not fall down and worship will be thrown into a blazing furnace. Okay, it goes into say, but there are some Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who pay no attention to you, your majesty. They neither serve your gods nor worship the image of gold you have set up. All right, these brothers were Israelites, man. Okay, and they worship Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, they didn't let King Nebuchadnezzar run over them. Okay, you can look into these three brothers as like the Israelites, man. Okay, because what these brothers did, it shows that this is what the Israelites are going to be doing, man, in those times. Okay, it shows that trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, okay, no matter what we face, the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to have his men prevail, all right, going into the elect, man. The elect's not going to bow down to the beast system, man, what Esau wants on this side. Okay, we're going to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the Lord's going to come through. Okay, and they go, you'll figure out more of that later in the story, but the Lord always comes through, man. Okay, and when you show your loyalty the most, the biggest thing, you got to give up your life for the truth, and the Lord's going to fight for you. It says, furious with rage, Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, so these men were brought before the king. And Nebuchadnezzar said to them, it is true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the image of gold I have set up? So he's asking them. And he said, and he goes on to say, he says, Salak, now when you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music, if you are ready to fall down and worship the image I made, very good. But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what power will be able to rescue you from my hand? Okay, so it's, King Nebuchadnezzar really kind of testing the Lord here, testing the Lord's power, saying, what power will deliver you from my hand? If I throw you into the fire, All right, but you have to understand that nobody can deliver out of the hands of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, not the other way around. Okay, so the Lord dictates, who perishes, who's made alive, who he wounds and who he heals. Okay, but he said, if you are ready to fall down and worship the image I made, very good. So, and that's wicked, man. Okay, because that's the thing, especially now in this time that we're in. Esau will tell you, you got to bow down to this beast system. All right, everything's going to be all right, but it'll all come back to get you, man. And the Lord will destroy you for bowing down to the beast system, man. Okay, taking the MOTB, okay, which is the RFID micro C-hip, okay, which is the mark of the beast, man. All right, and you can liken it to what we're reading now and bring it into these times, man, because we still have to trust in the Lord, okay, no matter what we face, even death. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. Right. And that's an important thing, because when it comes down to it, we're not going to have to defend ourselves, man. When these Edomites come take us captive, okay, and Esau really rose and do this thing, man. When we were before the princes and the judges, man, we're not going to need to try to defend ourselves, man. The Lord's going to fight for us. The Lord's going to do all the defending, man. Yahweh Shah is our lawyer. Okay, we're not going to have to do any type of, any talking of our own, I should say. It says, we are thrown into the blazing furnace. The power we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. Hey, and I'm reading the KJV. It says, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. Okay, and they were just letting them know, hey, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to deliver us, man. That's the type of faith we have to have too, brothers and sisters. Especially for the new brothers listening. Hey, you got to have that type of faith. Hey, the Lord's going to save me no matter what. All right. And it's not a demand like, or you just think you're on a high horse. No, the Lord got to save me. No. Be humble about it. But just know that we serve a power that can save you, man. In a time of troubles, man. It says, but even if he does not, even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Okay, so they say, hey, even if Yahweh Shema Shai don't save us, man, we still not going to bow down and worship, all right? They'd rather lose their life, okay? And that's why brothers like to say, the men, the past time, man, the old prophets of old, hey, they were tough as shit, man. Because the things we go through on this side, even the food, the pollution, everything that Esau's doing, man, he's weakening our men. All right, the men nowadays don't think like this, except the Israelite men of Yahweh Shema Shai. Most importantly, the elect, okay? It says that Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times harder than usual. Hey, completion, man. And he ordered the furnace to be hotter because they made him furious. They wouldn't bow down and serve his idol, his image, man. Okay. It says, and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. It says, so these men wearing their robes, trousers, turbans, and other clothes were bound to thrown into the blazing furnace. The king's command was so urgent and the furnace so hot that the flames of the fire killed the soldiers who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Hey, and that right there, hey, that even too, that's your Yahweh Shema Shai already showing signs, man. The Lord already putting people to death for touching his men. And that's the thing to come to, man. Okay, when Esau rose and he tries to come after the prophets, tries to come after the men of Yahweh Shema Shai, if you even, like the brother I brought, like saying, hey, Esau gonna mess around, come into the wrong house. The right house, actually. And Yahweh Shema Shai gonna show that power, man. All right, when you try to touch one of his elect, one of his men. Okay? It says, and these 3 men firmly tied fell into the blazing furnace. Okay, so the brothers are in the fire now at this point. But it goes on to say, listen to this. This is the protection that we have from Yahweh Shema Shai, the power that we serve, the true living power. It says, the king Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, weren't there 3 men that were tied up and threw into the fire? They replied, certainly, your majesty. So, they threw him in the fire. He said, look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like the son like a son of the gods, okay? A son of the powers, all right? You have to understand that the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai was with them in that fire, man, okay? They were protected by the spirit of power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Angels, man. Okay, and that's why they were seeing 4. There was like, it's 3. You threw 3 people in the fire, but I see 4. And it says, and it goes on to say this, it says, I see 4 men walking in the fire unbound and unharmed. They were in blazing fire unharmed. Okay? And brothers, you got to remember, this is the power that we serve. The Lord put you in a situation, the Lord can get you out. It's all about how you're going to respond and act, man. And these brothers responded with dignity, strength. You know, they were bold as a lion in the face of adversity. Okay? And this is how we have to be. That's why brothers like to go back and go in on the brothers before us, because, hey, like, these are men, man. They show true dignity and integrity. It says, Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High Yahweh, come out, come here. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. Hey, call out Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, and the satraps, prefects, governors, and royal advisors crowded around them. They saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair of their head singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. Hey, and the Lord said, neither will a hair on our head perish. Okay, he meant that, and you see that here. If it's recorded in the scriptures before, it's nothing new is under the sun, man. The Lord's going to do the same thing again to protect you, man. The Lord knows how many hairs are on your head. You know, you can't even sit here and count how many hairs are on your head. The Lord knows the exact number. He said not a hair will perish. Okay? It says, and they saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair of their head singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. Okay, so they were protected completely. That fire did not even a percentage of damage, harm, anything to them, man. They went in unscathed, and they came out unscathed, man. They weren't touched. It says that Nebuchadnezzar said, praise be to the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's command, and they were willing to give up their lives rather than to serve or worship any god except their own power. Okay? And that right there is the faith, man. Okay, brothers, if it comes down to, you should want to die for Yahweh Shem Yahweh. The Lord will fight for you, man, because you died for him. Okay? And they showed their dignity by, hey, even if you have to perish, even if the Lord don't save us, man, all right, we still not going to bow down and serve you. And the Lord saved them, man. They prevailed because they had faith, and they didn't lose faith when things got serious. Okay, because when you lose faith, and the Lord ain't going to protect you, man, because you don't fully believe if you lose faith when you think you're not going to have any protection. But in reality, you do. It says, therefore, I decree that the people of any nation or language who say anything against the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be cut into pieces and their houses be turned into piles of rubble, for no other power can save in this way, right? And then he wanted to, kind of be on that side a little bit, because you understand that you can't go against the power of Israel, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh, you can't go against it. That's the power of hosts, man. Yahweh of hosts, of armies, man. The Lord is all powerful. It says, then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon, okay, in the city of Babylon. Okay, and the whole point of the story was to show dignity, integrity, man, faith, believing in Yahweh Shem Yahweh. The elect are not going to bow down to this beast system. Okay, the elect is not going to bow down to Esau when Esau rolls out. Esau can threaten you with prison, death, hey, whatever. The Lord can put you in that predicament and have you prevail, man. You want to always keep your faith in Yahweh Shem Yahweh no matter how things look. That's really the whole point. Keeping that faith, the Lord can protect you and deliver you, man. The Lord will always hear you. All right, but Yahweh decided this was edifying, straight to the point. I'd like to give all glory, honor, praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Chaha, Kodash. Again, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who do indeed teach and rule well, and peace and salutations to the whole that scattered abroad. Till next time, I do say shalom, and the Bible ball soon.